one dedicated to the police, them in a liar. Cause some of them is wicked and they're good for none. They love big palm people and them thing on the right. And I'm come to show it out. Alright. So we kick it up, we call ya. So we kick it up, we call ya. So we kick it up, we call ya. So we kick it up, because you know we good to go. One for the money and the three for the show. One for you and just a one for me. No, but the test the piece, it could end up no story. Stop it on the street without a reason. Search through your pockets under submission. Everybody in here is a point suspect. Gone are the days where they serve and protect. Learn Babylon, learn up. Wait, fire, must get burned. Learn Babylon, learn up. Play with the fire and you must get burned. Ninja, you know that the fire is burning. Sweet. Ninja, you know that the fire is burning. Run. Ninja, you know that the fire is burning. Sweet. Ninja, you know that the fire is burning. Babylon. Hear this. From I was a youth police, I give me heart and them say you look like a cocaine, you're destined for crime. Positive police, me never made much of them. And the ones down to cause most the problem. Driving up and down, them a check and them a stare. The one that the dreadlocks, you best beware. Why can't they be like the ones on the bill? Who never ever cause and they never ever kill. Learn Babylon, learn up. Play with fire, must get burned. Learn Babylon, learn up. Play with the fire, must get burned. Ninja, you know that the fire is burning. Sweet. Ninja, you know that the fire is burning. Run. Ninja, you know that the fire is burning. Sweet. Ninja, you know that the fire is burning. Babylon. Hear this. Hear this. Hear this. Hear this. Hear this. Hear this.
Skindred there, of course, with Babylon. Welcome back to the CPR podcast. I hope you've had a cracking weekend, whatever it is you're getting up to over the course of that thing that I just said. I'm DJ Frankie Your Man, bringing you the best in independent music, and this is the CPR podcast. It's a Monday, and that means it's an eclectic mix of different music styles. Just fucking whatever I fancy picked out from this playlist. As it's a Monday, I am in the process of updating the playlist. I would have liked to have done it earlier in the day, but my sleeping patterns are fucked, and then I had to go to the shops, so I've had no fucking time at all to sort that out. Plenty of new tracks to come. Most of them still are uploading. But I'll make do with what I've still got, and then hopefully get some new stuff in before the end of the show, and certainly as the week progresses. One other thing before I crack on with some more tunes, I said to you on Friday night, if you listened in, that I was going to tell you about what was going on in the Ukraine, but I wasn't entirely certain myself. So over the weekend I have done a bit of research on that, and I'll be talking about that and letting you know. From what I can tell, it's by no means conclusive of this is definitely what's happening, but the best sources of information that I've been able to find, this is what I've gleaned from them. Anyways, more on that later on in the show, but for now let's have some tunage. This is Dinosaur Pile Up with My Rock and Roll.
Since I was young, I've always felt some sort of trouble. The nervous one with his finger on the pulse. Bless my poor mother, she always knew something was going on with her son. I guess it shows that some things are crueler than others. My rock and roll's been causing kind of problems. I bless my friends and the ones I call my brothers. It's no fun, no it's not. Some sort of trouble. The nervous one with his finger on the pulse. Bless my poor mother, she always knew something was going on with her son. I guess it shows that some things are cooler than others. My rock and roll's been causing kind of problems amongst my friends and the ones I call my brothers. It's no fun, no it's not.
Peace of mind so I can think about the here and now.
spiritual now. Thought that I know that I was on before. I had to detour. And me hearing on me head that just a voice just a tell me to think more. And so me set me mental straight. Wanna fi understand. My Lord, me not go fear no man. Me a walk with faith as me new weapon. That's why I'll see that plan. Follow me and say, throw your fears into the ocean and make them sink right to the bottom, yo. Because I got no desire to live like this anymore. No. I got a new meditation, and to Jaja will be give me dedication now. Now my dimensions are higher, I'm thinking more spiritual now. Inna the ocean, me fears me true. All of the people them inna the front row. Listen up, them a kind of thing where you feel know. Yo, you feel make your vibe show. Me go so then, tell them say fi read me mind. Go tell them say we fully inclined. All the people them come join the line. Yo, you fi shout it out one more time or so. Throw your fears into the ocean and make them sink right to the bottom, yo. Because I got no desire to live like this anymore. No. I got a new meditation, and to Jaja when they give me dedication now. Now my dimensions are higher, I'm making more spiritual now.
For a second there I thought my eyes were bleeding. It's evident I've spent too much time staring at this screen. Is it LCD or plasma? I'm not certain, but I know that I'm not living whilst I'm tied to this machine. Emancipation never came through, clinging to routine. New day, new addiction, and again this discontent through fiction. How I crave your company. New day, new addiction, story time, kids clawing my conviction. Pay the price with trouble sleep. How I crave your company. With some leftist home without your backpack, the shortest one could really take its toll. Marching back and forth between my bedroom and the library, I'm learning how to practice self-control. It's the latest essay followed by the latest episode. New day, new addiction, and again this discontent through fiction. How I crave your company. New day, new addiction, story time keeps calling my conviction. Pay the price with troubled sleep. How I crave your company.
I guess it's pretty telling that I shuffle in my sleep. Admittedly, it leaves me with a bed that's rarely neatly made. I wake up every morning, my back pressed against the wall. What my sleeping body's scared of, I'm not really sure at all.
As far as I'm concerned, the most important revolution starts in this bedroom. We control the script to win, improvise. But just pray to God it won't be televised. They'd be bleeding from the song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight, 'cause we're all in the mood for
Yeah, remind me to cut that bit off the end of that song. It's a fucking cracking song, and I assume they put that on for some sort of album purposes. But in terms of the podcast, it's piss annoying. And yeah, anyways, that's a note I should make in my head rather than telling you all to remind me. I'll write that down. I won't. My pen's fucked. Anyways, here's the today's news thing. I need to compose myself, I think. Right. I've got a shitload of notes here, so I'll try and make as much sense as I can of them as possible. Basically, I'm trying to let you all know in like the least coercive way possible about what's happening in the Ukraine at the minute. You will have seen it, or you might not have if you only follow the mainstream news. They tend not to cover this type of shit. But if you're on the internet and that, it's been flying about. There's some serious. Well, it's difficult to find because a lot of the media are terming it as protest, and then like putting it alongside like these really violent and destructive images, which I think they do the same way they do with anarchy and anarchists, is to sort of put in some sort of Pavlovian trigger into your mind that you associate anarchism and protest with scenes of extreme violence, just like on a subconscious level, therefore turning you against them. Whereas, anarchy is obviously the only sensible solution to anything, in my own humble opinion, but really the only alternative to intensely destructive statism. But that's another issue. Anyways, the information I've gathered was used the least coercive language. Doesn't mean it's true, but these are the best sources I've got to go on. So, as I understand it, in the Ukraine, it's quite a big country, and it's sort of socially and politically and economically and various other different things, effectively, rather than like geographically, as divided into two. One on the eastern side towards Russia, you've got like a lot of factories and mines. They all speak Russian rather than Ukrainian. And it's all like the old sort of industry type of thing. And the current president, President Yanukovych, he's part of that culture or state of affairs, whatever. There's also in the west, the more European side of Ukraine is there's like the business and commerce elites. I'm doing air quotes, by the way, because I don't believe that anyone is fucking elite unless like you're really good at something. Like, you might have like elite troops. That makes sense. You're not elite if you've just got a shitload of money. Anyways, right, so they want to move away from Russia and that old fucking mining industry, factories, all that shit. They want to move into the sort of newer commercial enterprises like fucking, I don't know, just fucking design and technology and all that type of shit that we're all supposed to be getting into at the moment. Now, there's a bit more to it than that, of course. Currently, like, the reason I think that it's all sort of sparked off and it's got a bit heated is the EU and the Russia, just normal Russia, are in a sort of bidding war over Ukraine for like a trade agreement. I say a trade agreement, that's what it's called. It'll be a lot more involved than just open up trade and different shit like that. Very much like the Trans-Pacific Partnership thing. There's a lot of hidden fucking evil shit in amongst that. It's not really about trade at all. But that's political language for you. So yeah, no, that's kicked off. So obviously President Yanukovych is saying, well, I'm probably going to go with Russia in that. They're going to give us some fucking gas or oil or whatever and different things like that. And then like a lot of people who went, well, fuck that noise because we want to be part of this more progressive culture over in Europe. And then, we'll have a similar situation here in the UK. Basically, like the old school are like the old, like political parties. It's like fucking like Labour and shit, and you get these fucking people who don't even give a shit. They surely have noticed that Labour aren't really, Labour anymore. They don't give a shit about the working man. They're just a fucking another fucking liberal bunch of bastards, And I think it's very much the same there. So you've got people coming out supporting like the old ways, sort of imagining like Labour stalwarts, TUC types over here. If that's what it makes sense to you. And then on the other side, supporting the people trying to move towards the EU. The article actually said sort of students occupy movement type of scenario going on there. Now, you will have heard one of the main things that's being said about what's happening in the Ukraine is that there's a lot of fascism, white power, anti-Semitic, nationalist type of shit going down, and that's entirely true. That is the case. There are a lot of groups who are motivated by fucking terrible fascist ideologies, but I mean, even in the sort of Occupy studenty type of camp, apparently there's like people feel so anti-Russian that it's reached a point of nationalism, and that like as if the Russian-speaking part of the country is holding everybody back, and like what was the word that Hitler used? Untermensch, I think. Like to that level of extremism. Now it occurs to me that whilst there is a lot of racism, anti-Semitism, and whatever else, that there are also a lot of other groups involved in that, who aren't racist. There's been a lot of reports of like infighting amongst the different camps of, so I'm hoping, I don't really have any evidence of anything, really. I'm just reading what other people's accounts. But I suspect, that there is an element of like anti-fash or whatever else, communism, anarchism, and a whole bunch of other stuff mixed in there. And that's where the infighting's coming. Because it occurs to me, right, if there was a huge uprising in Britain or the US or fucking anywhere else, right, and let's just stick with the UK, because I can, I think it's easier, certainly for me, to visualise and understand what's happening. Right, if there was a massive uprising in the UK, then there would be a lot of fucking EDL numpties with their big banners, in the protests and the riots and shit like that, and there would be fucking BNP and whoever else, fucking a lot of Nazi groups. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the Ukraine is an inherently fascist culture. It doesn't necessarily mean that the uprising is like just a neo-Nazi coup. It just means that, there is quite a lot of it from what I've seen from the images, but, I think that it doesn't necessarily define the movement, and that any culture who had that type of thing going on within it would have elements of fascism, and they do like to be very, very visible when they do that. Like they'll have like, you see the pictures of the EDL, all the little fucking groups and all the fucking like dog end fucking towns and that, and there'll be like two fucking inbred drunks and that holding this huge banner, and it makes them very visible, and that's why they do it. But again, I'm not speaking from personal experience, just from what I've read and how I understand what's going on, so don't take my word completely for it. Read up on it for yourself, try and find out what's going on, but to me that's what it looks like. Now there was one other thing just before I crack on. I don't have a lot of time left as it goes, but one thing that's caused a lot of excitement is there was an attempt to drive a large bulldozer into the presidential palace. Now, as I understand, that was carried out by a group called Bratstvo, which means the Brotherhood. They're quite a fascist group, as their thing goes. They, I don't know what you'd call that. Like, what they call themselves is a Christian Orthodox nationalist anarchism, and that's just got more fucking double think than I can care to translate. Like, you fucking... One of the main aspects of anarchism is fucking no nations and no borders. You can't possibly be a nationalist anarchist, you know? The fucking most anarchists are against religion as well. So that's the whole Christian Orthodox thing. It's fucking, it's exactly the type of fucking garboiled nonsense that a fascist group would come up with, frankly. But you know what I mean? It's a lot of people are getting very excited about these images of bulldozers being driven into a presidential palace. It's quite a big deal. But of course, you know, it is being done by racist, fascist knackers. So, swings and roundabouts. I would say fucking up your game, communist, socialist, anarchists, all you fucking leftists, massive, you know. But, yeah, we'll see what goes. It's very interesting to watch. It's probably a lot less interesting if you're in amongst it. Terrifying, I would probably be the word. I mean, there's a lot of violence going on there, as there always will be with any sort of fascist movement, because... well, they fucking seem to be only semi-evolved. Anyways, right, I've no time left, so I better crack on with some tunes. I'm going to play you this one track, very fitting. This is by a fella called Ding Dong Danny O'Reilly. It's called Suppose a Riot is Out of the Question. I'll be back tomorrow with some reggae rhythms, and I'll see you then. Ta-ra for now. Ta-ra.
Well, I live in a country destroyed by fat bastards who ate all the pie. And that wealthy elite keeps us well underneath, with just barely enough to get by. Well, they gambled and royally cavorted. They drank and they shagged and they snorted. They cheated and bribed and extorted and lied. And when it went wrong, they were sorted. Suppose a riot is out of the question. Any chance, then at all. I just thought church was worth a suggestion. But your country, your money, your call. But these wankers are sousing on body. Folks are dying on hospital trolleys. And 10-year-olds sleep rough at night on our streets, shooting smack in their veins for their hobby. Of course they sure have great talent, we beat. Unlike wasters like yous lot and me. They will spend your money, oh so tastefully, on fine wines, good design, cuisine. Suppose a riot is out of the question. Any chance, none at all. I just thought church was worth a suggestion. But your country, your money, your call. What on God's earth do they need to do to get yous worked up and into the moods? Like yous did when Henri touched that ball in Paris. 'Twas the nearest we got to a coup. Long as X Factor's still on the telly, Alex Ferguson's given it welly. You'll get worked up instead about Man United than the wages they're paying Pat Kenny. Suppose a riot is out of the question. Any chance, none at all, that's very much. I just thought it was worth a suggestion. But your country, your money, your call. But your country,